This is not financial advice. I just took a bunch of other myths, baby, because it's about to get hot in the kitchen. Now, don't invest in companies you don't understand and don't believe in, because if they dip, then you're not going to buy the dip, and then you're going to sell low and be right back here crying to me, and I'm not having that. So if you can't do the heat of these hot stocks, then stay out of the kitchen and consider investing in the next funds. Now, family, we got a whole lot to talk about, but first, let me know where you from in the chat. Let's get it. Show me where you at, baby. Now, let's see who we got. We got, oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce some of this, family. Yo, the family is coming from all over the world, and we love to see it. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I can't believe the week is flying by this fast, but it is what it is, and we love to see it. Now, let me know where you from in the comments, baby. Let me know where you from. I see you. Arizona in the building. Shout out to Arizona. Much love. Philly is in the house. We got Arizona in the building, like we just said. Shout out to Arizona. Shout out to Philly. I see you. I see you. We got Jacksonville, Florida. Yo, let's get it. We got Kansas City in the building too. I love it. Listen, one of these days, you see how the pandemic is kind of, people are still catching COVID. We talked about it yesterday. Stockmon, my dog, he said he had COVID. So people still catching it. But notice that the world is not really like shutting down, or at least the United States. So we might, you never know, you might run into me one day and I might be in your city and I say, you know what? I got some family out in New York. I got some family out in New York. I got some family out in Florida. You know what I'm saying? I might have to pull up and say, yo, what's up, my dogs? What's up? You know, I got some family out in Chicago. You know what I mean? The family is out there, baby. We love to see it. Southeast Asia in the building. Los Angeles. Shout out to LA. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. I see you, family. Yo, let's go. Hey, Gainesville, Florida, I see you. Las Vegas is in the building too. We love it. We love it. So now, hit the like while you rolling in, family. I want to start this one off, and we're going to take it back to the basics from the top. I want you to be able to use this breakout strategy, if you so choose, that you've seen me be successful with time and time again. And again, know when to get in, know when not to get in, right? Sometimes you got to say, the information ain't all the way there for me to get in. So now at this point in the video, remember the time of the video. Let me just double check. Let's call it 2.5 minutes in. I want you to come back to this video if you ever need help on how to set it up. Now, some days are kind of funny and it's a little different when you're trying to set the charts up, but you know what? Today we're going to go in on that. So now I do want to show you this. Notice that this looks a little bit different than before. However, there's a lot of similarities. So what's going on here? This is actually Moomoo's desktop app. You can kind of see the logo in the background. So now I'm transitioning over to using Moomoo's platform. Why? One of the main reasons is, first of all, that trailing stop loss. We talked about this before in the past, and I want to show you how what we've been doing in the past was doing the trailing stop loss manually. Manually means you got to do it by your hands. So let's go over here. Let's look at this options price. This is an example, and I'm going to teach you about a trailing stop loss versus a regular stop loss, right? So really, if you're doing anything other than listening to me and you want to learn about how the trailing stop loss works, pay attention very closely. So now let's imagine that we pay. You see an option price and it says this 1.00, aka this means you're going to have to pay $100 for one contract, right? If the contract price says this, it's $1. You got to buy 100 of them. That's just how it goes. When you buy the contract, then boom, it's $100. So if you put your stop loss on it, that means your stop loss, your 10% stop loss is going to be at 0.9. So if this 0.1 or 1.0 goes down 10%, then it's going to kick you out at 0.9, aka $90, right? You follow me on that? 10% stop loss will kick you out at $90. Normally, or sometimes, what will happen is, so the new option price, let's say that it does go to 90. Your stop loss is set to 90, aka $90. So then it's going to kick you out. This is scenario one. And you end up with $90, right? You end up with $90. Your stop loss is at 10%. Boom, boom, boom. What if the option price goes to 90? Then your stop loss was just waiting to see that happen. It was waiting to see that 90. Headphones in the chat. I see him coming in. And if it sees it, it's going to sell it. That's how it works. But sometimes something different happens. You get into an option at 1, aka you paid $100, and then you got your stop loss at 90. So if it sees 90, it's going to sell it and let it go so you don't lose any more than that. That's why it's called a stop loss. I want to stop these losses after it hits 90. What if the new option price doesn't drop and go down to 90? What if it goes to 120, right? Boom. Or it looks like this. You bought it up here at 1.00 and now it's 1.20. AKA it's $120. You just made $20. On a normal stop loss, right? A regular stop loss, your stop loss is still waiting to kick you out at 90. So nothing's changed with your regular stop loss. It's nothing. It's just waiting to kick you out at 90. So if it goes up to 120 and it comes back down to 90, it's never going to sell it until it hits 90 because your stop loss is waiting at 90. Let's change this over to not just a stop loss, to a trailing stop loss. And they don't have that on Webull right now. So then I want to transition over to Moomoo. A trailing stop loss, right? And let me see if I can get that out of there. All right, boom. A trailing stop loss. I'm going to add that T in there so you can see it. Boom. This is the new update, the T. The trailing stop loss at 10%. So our trailing stop loss, instead of just our normal one, is going to work like this. You put your trailing stop loss on 10%. At the very beginning, it's waiting for it to drop 10%. So that would be at 90. That would be at 90. If you ask yourself, okay, what is 10% of 100? It's 90. But now let's see the difference. This is the difference. So pay close attention. What if the new option price goes to 120 again? Remember, your trailing stop loss is waiting for a 10% drop from whatever peak. The normal stop loss was just waiting for 90. That's it. But the 10% trailing stop loss is waiting for a 10% drop from whatever peak. So what's the new peak? The new peak would be 120. So it's waiting for a 10% drop from 120, aka a $12 drop in this case. It's waiting for this thing to lose 12 at this point, right? So if this happens, then it'll kick me out. So then you basically do the math on that. Let me just back this so you can see it a little bit better. You do the math on that and you say, okay, 120 minus 12 is going to give me 108. So then our new stop loss has moved on its own. Like, it's not magic, but it moved on its own. We didn't have to change anything. So now it's waiting to kick us out at 108 rather than waiting at 90. So then if you get into an option with a trailing stop loss and it automatically shoots up, then your stop loss is going to shoot up with it rather than you having to manually do it yourself. You don't have to manually do it yourself. And let's say that it keeps going, right? It keeps going. This option price, it goes up to 120 and boom, it doesn't stop there. Let's say that it went to 150. So then it's waiting for a 10% drop. A 10% drop is no longer 12. A 10% drop from 150 is now this 15. So it's waiting for it to drop 15, right? So then that means our trailing stop loss would move to 135 on its own. AKA, if we get in on a good entry, because it will not protect you. Let's be absolutely clear. A trailing stop loss will not protect you from a bad entry, but it will help you to take profits automatically so you don't have to do it yourself every time or keep changing your stop loss up. You don't have to do it every time. So now, then boom, you'd be at 135, not 11, 135. But it's great because you paid 100. So this is how this works. The trailing stop loss, it will keep moving up. Now, let's get one more example just to solidify it. Just to solidify it and be done with it. What if it goes up to 200? So then guess what? It's waiting for 10% of that. If we set a 10% trailing stop loss. So 10%, right, is no longer that 90 anymore, right? It's not that 90 anymore, so we're just gonna leave that. It's now 20. It's now 20. So now your stop loss used to be here, but it's moving with your option. So now you do the $2 minus the 20 cents, right? It's gonna leave us with the 180, AKA $180. So if you get into an option that's just straight on a rocket ship upwards, then what's going to happen is your stop loss will follow it. Your stop loss will follow it up. It's trailing it. It's trailing the options price and waiting for any peak. If any peak ever drops 10%, if we set it to 10, we could also set it to 5. We could also set it to 1. You can set it to whatever you want. You can set it to 30. You can set it to whatever you want, right? But this is how it works. So now, I want to show you, because everybody, I was talking to somebody yesterday, they're thinking like it's a magic bullet. If you get a bad entry, it's still going to act like a regular stop loss. So let's take it back to the beginning. Let's say that you get in at 100 and you put a 10% trailing stop loss on it, AKA, like I said before, let's take it back to the beginning, 90. What if you get in, and as soon as you get in, the new options price, so you got into an option, and then the option price goes down immediately, as soon as after you get in it, to 0.9, right? You get in immediately and this happens. So you know what's gonna happen in this case, family? It's gonna kick you out. Your stop loss won't move because this is your peak. You got in at the peak. That was your entry. If it gets 10% down from any peak, then boom, it's gonna kick you out at $90. So then it looks just like a normal stop loss at that point. If you get in at the worst time, it'll act exactly like a normal stop loss, kick you out at the 10%. So now, understand, it's a tool, right? It's not a magic bullet. It's a tool. You got to know when to use a tool and when not to use a tool, right? Hammers are great, but that don't mean you go beat your car up with a hammer because you heard hammers fix things, right? You got to know when to use a hammer. When you see a nail, okay, now it's time to use a hammer, right? So then understand that to be the case. Or a screwdriver. Oh yeah, screwdrivers are great. You go use a normal screwdriver and try to fix your cracked iPhone screen. It's not going to work, right? So you got to know when to use a specific tool. So now that's the trailing stop loss, and Mumu has it, and I want to incorporate it. So you know how when I say, oh man, Keenan Grace, I'm about to go in, up my stop loss. This option is on a rocket. Okay, yeah, I do. I'm being my own trailing stop loss manually. So now with that being said, I don't have to do it manually at least as much, even though I'm still the type to use a trailing stop loss in normal situations, so I don't have to do it manually, right? Simple as that. Okay, when not to use a trailing stop loss? Great question. When not to use it. So check this out. You got to see something. Let's say that you're on a long time frame, right? You're on a long time frame like this. Let's just use some quick technical analysis here. Let's say that you get in on a put options. You see how it broke through this drop right here? Let's say you get in on your put, like right here. You do your TA, and for whatever reason, you want to ride it down to all the way over here. Let's hypothetically, right? You want to ride it from this green line, and you want to ride it all the way down to this red line. Again, headphones in the chat, family, because I'm really trying to drop some information on you so you understand, not just see it, you understand. I'm going to make this yellow. Maybe it's easier to see. All right, so you want to drop from this blue line all the way down to this yellow line. You get a trailing stop loss. Let's say that your normal, regular, everyday stop loss, you put it right here. Not a trailing one, a normal stop loss. You put it right here, and let's make it pink, right? Purple, whatever. This is your stop loss. The blue one is your entry. You're trying to ride it down to the yellow. Take a look at this. Let me just move this up a little bit more. If it ever goes up, your normal stop loss, it'll kick you out up here. Your trailing stop loss is going to kick you out. And let's say you're buying puts, right? You're trying to buy a put and make money on the way down. Your trailing stop loss is going to follow you all the way down here. And once it starts going up, it's going to kick you out, right? Kick you out because you got a stop loss on it. Meanwhile, it went up a little bit more and then came and dropped down like crazy. So you would have missed out on all of this run, but you can't tell the future. So it's better to protect yourself. So now your normal stop loss it would work in this case because look, you would have been up 10%, 20%, 30%, up. Now I'm back almost at break even. I'm up 5% before going up 200%, right? A normal stop loss in this case would have actually been better. So there are some cases, but not all. So now, in most cases though, when you want to win long-term, like this example, the trailing stop loss would have worked out great, especially if you try to re-enter, because what would have happened is, look at this. The blue line is going down, 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 down. You're up, you up tremendously on this option. And then it starts going back up, it kicks you out. And then you could just jump back in at the resistance and then just ride the wave back down. So that's how that goes. So now if you want to get on Moomoo, I've been telling y'all for a long time to get on Moomoo because they got a lot of tools. And I was trying to just, give you the time so you could get in, but it is what it is. So now at this point, if you aren't already in Moomoo and you want to start a new trading account or whatever, or have some of these tools and at least have access to them, download the link. It's in the description. Actually, yeah, it's in the description and I pinned it too so you can get it. You want to have access to these tools, even if you don't always want to use them all of the time, but you want to always have access. So one thing that I do is I'm on all of these apps, right? I heard somebody say that, man, I'm on mad apps too. And it's making my tax complicated. And I'm like, family, how are you doing your own taxes and you don't understand that it's just asking you to put in a specific number? Like, I don't understand. It don't make no sense to me, right? But it is what it is. If it don't make sense to you, it don't make sense. I can't tell you it's supposed to make sense. So now, let me X out of some of these because I was working on this yesterday. So now that you understand the trailing stop loss, what we're gonna do is we're gonna chart this, and I'm talking about from the very, very top. Like we're gonna start from nothing and build the chart all the way up from 0. So you can see how we do it on Moomoo. And then we're gonna try to use this exact chart to trade. So now, again, you know me. I want to get into a trade, definitely. But I'm not so pressed that I'm gonna just be making bad decisions. So I'm gonna try to get into a trade for sure, but I'm gonna use this time to totally build this up so that my people that are on Moomoo with me right now as well, you can set your charts up as well. So now, this is how we do this. I tried to explain to you last time on Draw, and I tried to show you, or I tried to draw it, but I couldn't really draw it. What you're looking for is, so I'm on the 5-minute time frame. You can see this at the very top, right? You look to the right, I'm looking at SPY, ticker symbol SPY. It's currently 401. Now, I got my MACD and my RSI down here on the bottom. Let me try to just move it up a little bit more so you can see potentially more of the MACD and the RSI together. All right, so you see down here, this is where I clicked them. So it says indicator management. So I click on my indicators, right? And then what are my main indicators? Here we go, my indicators list. Let me see, my main indicators, my MACD and my RSI, right? These are the ones I have selected. MACD, RSI. I got X out of this now. How did I open them up down here? I use this, indicator management. So now, I can see the peak price over here. I can see the lower price over here. What I'm going to do is I got to zoom out. I want to zoom out and I want to see peaks in the last maybe 2 days because I want to be in a trade for a short amount of time. So then I need to see, okay, where's the peak from yesterday and the peak from even 2 days ago and so on and so forth. Since I see this is a peak all the way up here, right, at like 408, I would be looking for calls closer to 408, like kind of easier calls to maybe 410. But locally, somewhat locally, this is our peak right up here. But the issue that we're having is this is 3 things all at once. This is our peak in the last, let's call it 2 days. So over here in this black space, this is the market being open. This is the market being open. And this is the market being open. The grayer space is harder to see, but this is the market closed, like after market and things like that, right? So now, how do we get our green line? So I go over here and I look at lines and it's called horizontal line down here. There's a horizontal line segment, which is a piece of a line, but this is the horizontal line. So now this would normally be my green line, right? Because in the last few days, then I'm looking for a peak in the last few days, and that's here. But technically, the peak of the last few days is where we are right now. So then this is my green line. But now we come into a little bit of an issue. Those who've been rocking me for a long time, it's not really an issue, but it's just that two things are the same thing. And last time it was in reverse. Now my green line, which is my normal entry on a call, meaning I would get a 10% stop loss. That's my normal entry. That's what that means. It's the same line today as my blue line because their definitions are, I want to say, coalescing, right? So how do we do that? How does that make sense? How do you get the green line? You get the green line if you're trading on a 5-minute time frame by looking back 2 days. So this is today. I look 1 day, I look 2 days, and I look, okay, where's the peak? I go grab my green line in the last 2 days, and then that is where my green line is. But actually, it's today. My green line is up here today. Normal entry on a call. Now we look and see what are colliding. The normal entry on a call, green line, and the early entry on a call, blue line, are connected and, like I was saying, coalescing or colliding even. Because think about the definition of our normal or our early entry on a call. This blue line. You look at the stock price currently and you say, okay, what is the first peak to the left? Family, the first peak to the left is the exact same line as the green line. It's the exact same line as the green line. So these two things are colliding at once. So now, how do I use this if I try to play it? I let risk management be the judge. So I would like to be risk averse. So in this case, since we have these two lines being the same, one of them is the blue line, the early entry on a call, meaning I would take a 5% stop loss, or in this case, a trailing stop loss, rather than the 10% normal entry on a call. So I would let the blue line talk to me more than the green line if they happen to be the same. But this would just be a risk management thing. Why? Because this resistance line is strong. It's very strong because they happen to be the same as the green and the blue. So there's a lot of resistance, right? So imagine that there's just one level of a ceiling right there. Now there's two. Technically it's one, but you can see how strong it is because it's like confirmed. And by confirmation in this, which is different from how I talked about it before, it's just testing the line and showing you, no, this is a real resistance line. So now I'll put the names on them in a second, but I want to go out and I want to get the other lines, the red line and then the other blue line. So let's do it. The red line, what do? We see the current candle. We zoom out to the last 2 days or so. So where this is today, this is 1 day, this is the next, or the day 2 days ago. Where's the low? The low is all the way down here, right? It's showing you a number. So, okay, great. Now that we have that low, I'm just gonna go and put a horizontal line on it. And this one's red. This is my normal entry on a put option. If we broke under this and confirmed, had a candle that was red and lived totally under it, then okay, what I would do, you say you can't see it? I got you, family. I got you. I'm going to zoom in for you, but I just want to show you to zoom out. All you really need to see now is that where the peaks are and where the bottoms are. That's all you need to see for now. I'll zoom in. I got you. So, okay. Now that I can see that this is the bottom in the last 2 days, okay, this is my normal entry on a put, meaning I'll put a 10% stop loss. Notice how we are nowhere near that level. We are nowhere near the normal entries on a put. You could play it, but if you did, you wouldn't be playing the breakouts technically, right? You would be playing a different pattern, but you wouldn't be playing the breakouts. So now, or the breakdowns. That's this. Let's go and get our blue line, our other blue line. So now the red line, definition of the red line, how you get it is you look at the last 2-3 days. Where's the lowest point? Boom, you put the red line there. Now, how do you get the blue line? The lower blue line. How you do that is you zoom in a bit. You look at the current candle, and then you look for what? The immediate lowest point to the left. So now that we got this, my immediate lowest point to the left, and remember, I want this line to be blue because I need two blue lines to identify when I am in the gamble zone, right? When I am in the gamble zone. And I'm gonna separate these just a little bit so you can see that there's some difference, but notice they're not different, they're the same. Right, there are two blue lines. There's a blue line up here and a green line. They're the exact same. There is a hidden level in here that we're not really talking about much. And I'll just put it in white really, really quickly and then delete it. Just so you can see, I think they might have the white. They might not have the white. I don't know. I guess they don't have the white color here, but I'll make it yellow really quickly. This one, this 400 is a strong psychological level of support in the 400 on the SPY. Right now we're at 401.3, but strong psychological level, but we don't need to worry about that at this very moment because it's in the gamble zone. So now gamble zone is in between two blue lines, in between two blue lines. It could go either way. It's a coin toss, family. You don't want to trade in the gamble zone regularly because you will be basically, you at the casinos, you know what I'm saying? You at the slot machines. So then with that being said, you can sometimes shoot it. It's like shooting from half court. You said, thank you so much for this lesson. I got you, family. Blessings, many blessings. I want you to earn, and I also want you to learn. I want you to learn how to earn and how to be consistent and how to trade with the charts, like I tell you, and not with your heart. And in order to do that, you got to know, how do I set these lines? Let's just summarize it real quick before I put the names on them, so then we can try to trade using them. So the green line, I'm looking at the candles right now. I'm wondering, when should I be looking at normal entries on calls? And again, none of this is financial advice. I can't give you financial advice, but I can show you how I am consistently doing this on the live streams. So now, check this. How do we get our normal green lines? We zoom out about 2 days or so. We're on a 5-minute time frame. We look for a peak. When we see a peak in the last 2 days, 3 days, that's the green line. How do we get the red line? We look in the last 2-3 days. Where's the lowest point? Okay, boom, that's the red line. Now, how do we get the blue lines? We zoom in. We're on a 5-minute time frame still. We look at the candle. Where is it right now? It's right here. The current one that's moving. Immediately to the left. What is the first peak? The first peak is right here, immediately to the left. So that's where this is gonna be. It just so happens today that the green and the blue line are the same. So now, the lower blue line, and this one will be the early entry on a call, AKA I will put the 5% stop loss on it. Now, how do we get the lower blue line? We look at the current candle, and then we look immediately to the left until we see the first bottom out. Okay, that's this. And anything in between here, we call the gamble zone. So now let's start to label this stuff so that we can make it make some sense. But now I can zoom in more for my dogs that ain't got their reading glasses on, but we still got love for you. So now I'm zoomed in, and you know I gotta play around with you, family. We family, we joke like that. So now here we go. We're in between two blue lines. This is called the gamble zone because it could go either way. It could go either way. Our sellers are up here, our buyers are down here. And I told you a long time ago that you could think of it kind of like this, right? Let me see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to draw a rectangle that's colored in, but I might not need to. It's like this. Whenever you make the blue lines, what you're really looking at is you're looking at a lot of buyers sitting down here in this green square, and then you're looking at a lot of sellers sitting up here. Or I guess this isn't a square, it's a rectangle. Up here. So you're looking at buyers and sellers, and they're literally like battling each other. And this is a gamble zone, a battle zone, a war zone, and it could go either way. So when you see it start to push up in here, we're eating into the sellers, but we still are where the sellers are. So they could dominate it. There's still a lot of them there, right? You got to think of this when you see like green candles going into the red. It's like at here, when we were down here, it's like two armies with swords, like back in the day, like medieval times. They're clashing, right? They're clashing. And a lot of the buyers are dying out in here, but some of them, I'm talking about freaking Achilles, right? You got crazy battlers. They pushing through and they're trying to kill all of these sellers, family, and push through them and then dominate so they're no longer even there, right? That's what they're trying to do. The best warriors is in here right now, but they are more alone. They're strong down here. They're more weaker up here. So with that being said, we see that. So now we're just going to put words to it. And I want you to also be able to identify uptrends and downtrends. So take a look at this too. Let me see if I can get a line here. Notice we got a low. We have a higher low. This is a sign of an uptrend, but we are still where those sellers are. You said it's like a game of tug of war. Exactly. Exactly. So now while we're looking at this and we're watching it, we could technically, let's look at the RSI. RSI is up. This blue line down here is up. It's crossed above the signal line. And we have, I'm sorry, that's the MACD. Our RSI right now is over, let me see. It's at 61. You can see it right here. It's at 61. So it's over the 50. It's still kind of neutral, right? But we're pushing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go open my options right now. Open my options right now. I'm going in Webull. Remember, confirmation, I just want to just say that again, is a candle that lives totally not like this, right? You should be able to see this. This, imagine that you see how we're on the line? That's not confirmation. Confirmation lives totally above it, right? Totally above it. So you don't always have to wait for confirmation, but it's way safer of an entry to wait for confirmation. So if you're new, what I would always do is I would always wait for confirmation. And sometimes you're going to miss your entry. I missed my entry last time, but when I miss an entry, but I'm reading the charts correctly, I take it as a W. So you see what just happened? How if you would have got in, it just came back down a little bit, meaning you could have got a better price. But now I'm looking at options. I'm going to go look at the 405. I want to see what today's costs. I want to see what today's option costs for the 405. I want to see what it costs. All right. So then I'm going to the SPY. And she's pushing up. I want to see what the 405 costs. Still, not confirmation, but we're getting a huge candle because like I told you, we broke through the sellers. So then you're getting a huge candle. And remember, I put this up here, but technically it was right here. They're the same. I just moved it so you can see it. Excuse me. The 405 today, excuse me again, it costs 90. So I'm prioritizing education over getting into a trade right now. So I'm going to share this to the screen. So you can see the price. If this thing will send. Right now it's at like 90. So, all right. This is some research I was doing from yesterday's video. Let me just X out of this. All right. So look, the price right now, you see it? It was at about 96 when I took this one. So what I could do is I could buy one at this current price, or I could change it right here. So the amount, it would be 97, but you see what time it is. So now let me go back to the charts and see if it's changed. Oh yeah. Let me show you which one it is again. So you can see. Did I screenshot it correctly? So this is the 405 call, expiration. We go back out of it. This was the 24th. This was the 24th. So you see this 24 right here? So the year, month, and then day. This is the 24th. And it's currently 97. Now, I don't always like buying the ones that are like that. Now it's 92. Now it's 91. But this is the 405 call, expiration the 24th, February 24th. Let me go see what the 23rd costs for 405. Yeah, the 23rd is too low. I don't like when the options prices are like in the 20s. I like them to be between like, let's say like 30 and maybe like 70. So this one, you could consider it, you know, a little more expensive than I would normally buy like for the live streams, but it's fine because the reasoning is what I want is this. I want to be able to get good stop losses on it. If it costs, let's call it 2 cents, my only stop loss option is 1 cent and something else. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. So now I'm looking at this trade and I want to get in it, and I'm willing to put in about, let's call it maybe even 1,000, close to 1,000. Now, this does not mean that you need to get in it. I'm willing to trade $6,000. I'm willing to trade with $6,000. So now what I'm doing is I want this to confirm. It hasn't really totally confirmed, but it's getting close. And remember, I post these on the Discord to Keenan's trades. It's going to look a little different because it's Moomoo, but I just want to show you. And if you read it, you can see my entry price right here. So right now I should be maybe down a little bit, but I'm willing to trade with 6,000. I'm sorry, 5,000. I'm willing to trade with 5,000. So now, since I'm doing somewhat of my very early entry, because I didn't wait for it to confirm, I'm going to ease my way in. Remember, confirmation would be if this candle closes out green and lives totally above this blue and this red line. So right now, that's what I'm more so waiting for. So I'm easing my way in. Right now, it's 94. I bought it at 97. Again, does not mean that you should. Make sure that you understand how to use a stop loss before you do any kind of trade at all. Trust me, it's important. Okay, so now she's at about 92. So then I am looking potentially. Let me go in here real quick and let me go to trade. So I'm easing my way into this. I'm looking, it's 94 again. I don't want to necessarily buy more of it right at this moment. I want to hold on to what I got and see if I could get in even lower. So I bought some at 97. I want to see if I could get it even lower and bring my average down more. But if not, I'm just going to chill. However, while I'm doing that, I'm going to go and I'm not going to be willing to lose my money. What I want to do is this. So I'm going to take some screenshots and share them with you so you can see how to implement the trailing stop. So I can't really look at this for a second. I need y'all to be patient with me so I can just load this up because I want to give y'all a lesson on how to use the trailing stop. Okay, so be patient with me. It's very important for me that you learn this. I want to say I don't think anybody giving it up like me on here in terms of, you know what I'm saying, actually getting on and trading with you on the live streams and showing you what's up. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm taking a few screenshots so you can see how I'm getting down. And then I'm going to share each of them with the screen. Why aren't we trading for today? I am trading for today. I'm in a trade already. Go to Keenan's trades. But I'm prioritizing teaching you. So I'm gonna show you how to get into this trailing stop. I just had to compile these together. Trying to airdrop it to myself right now. My airdrop acting a little funny. Come on now. I just took all these screenshots. Now my airdrop acting funny. Yo, Apple, where my notepad at? Maybe I can share it to my other phone and then try it from there. It might be my computer acting up. Keenan's iMac. Okay, yeah, that worked. I had to like go around it. All right. So first of all, before I even open this up, so I'm gonna show you how to do the trailing stop real quick. Now that I got this opened up, yeah. So currently, I'm up on it. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Trailing stop. When you first get in, right? You bought your call already. Boom. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see it well, like I would do it in a normal video. Let me move myself, because I really want you to be able to know how to do this. This is an extremely important tool. Let me just get that over a little bit more. All right. So now look at this. You got your limit order, right? You open your option that you're already in. You're inside of the option. What you're gonna do is this. You see the limit? You gotta change this limit and click on it. And then what's gonna happen is this is gonna open up. So you bought an option already. You gotta go in it as if you're ready to sell it. But you're not gonna do a limit sell, right? That's the order type, the type of order. You click on it, and then this menu pops up right here. There are all kind of orders. You see how it's checked for limit? So the limit order is checked. So now you want to go all the way to the bottom. Number 8 is the trailing stop. So now that you got your trailing stop, you changed it. It no longer says order type as a limit. So when you sell it, it's not going to be a limit sell, meaning sell it now at this price. It's going to be a trailing stop. So we changed it to trailing stop. Boom. So now it's asking you ratio or amount. You just leave ratio alone. So you see this trailing ratio? This means percentage. What percentage do you want it to trail at? So then let's go over here and 10%. I changed it to 10. You can change it to 1. You can change it to whatever, right? So then that's how I would do it. And that's how you get your 10% trailing stop loss activated. So let's start from the top again. You go into your option that you already purchased. You purchased it. You going in as if you're going to sell it. If you clicked quantity right here, you just tapped it, you can sell how many you have. Let's say you have 1, then you would sell 1 at 95, right? I don't want to do that because I didn't buy it at that price. But I'm prioritizing again. I'm prioritizing educating you over the trade right now. So I'm not even paying attention to it. I'll get back to it and see if I need to get back in or get out. So now check this out. Now we got 1. You would put 1 and you trade at 95. You change your limit order. I highlighted in red, so I gotta hit you in your head. Change it to a trailing stop. And then after you change it to a trailing stop, what you do is you see trailing stop, ratio, AKA percentage in this case. Change it. I would change it to like 10% depending on what the charts are telling me. Did I get in on a normal entry for a 10% stop loss? Am I getting in and I didn't wait for confirmation? So then I would need to either consider easing in, like dollar cost averaging into my option, or using a 2% stop loss, or Or what, right? How am I playing this? How is this going? How am I gonna do this? That's how I want you to think, but then that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then what you just do is you click sell, and then that's it. Sell, and then your stop loss is watching your back. In this case, your stop loss will be watching your back. So, okay. Now, I'm done with that for now. I'm gonna go back to the charts, and I see, let's look at it, and let's go back. Trailing stop losses, at first, go back and watch my explanation of it. At first, it works like a normal stop loss. And then after that, it works like a trailing stop loss. Once it starts to go up, the option price goes up. So it's looking for a peak and a 10% drop from any peak, no matter what the peak is. So family, do you see this? Do you see what I see? Being in a call, you know what I want to see? I want to see strength, right? I would love it. I would love it, love it, love it. However, you got to be honest with yourself, and it could still go up. However, this is not strength right here. This is a long wick on the top. Let me move myself. This is a long wick on the top. That's not strength. That's actually signs that there are sellers here trying their absolute best to push it down. They're trying their absolute best to push it down. And look, you see it. Remember, don't be afraid. If you're afraid and you're trading options, it means you're trading way too much, right? It means you're trading way too much money. So now we're coming back in. We almost confirmed here, but it's red. It's a red candle. We need a green candle confirmation up here, but it's not the case. And now we're back on the line, going down, 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 down. And let's see. Let's see what happens. So we're getting back into where I didn't label it, but we're in between two blue lines again, back into that gamble zone a little bit. But you could argue that we are on an uptrend and this is just retracement. But early, extremely early entry on a call, like the yellow line or the yellow bar or box that I'll put in there, so you understand. So now let's see. And I didn't put that one this episode, but you understand what I'm saying. So now I'm watching this one. And I want to see if she breaks through this before uptrend or if she continues it, because there's a lot of sellers. And I told you this before. When we seen that high wick candle, let me know if you seen it, yes or no. When we seen that wick on the top getting long, we want it to be strength, but we got to listen to the charts. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. You got to be able to say, okay, I know what I want, but I know what I see. You know what I mean? That's extremely important. So now let's get back to while we watching this, right? Because I'm watching this, but I'm kind of prioritizing education a lot on this one. I want to show you this. Somebody told me yesterday in a Discord even, he said, man, Keenan, I'm down 20%, blah, 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 blah. And I say, yo, that's against the law. Law 3, make your losses small. Stop losses 5 to 10% on any trade. Going down 20%, it could happen, but it's against the law. It means that, you know what? There was a speed limit and you didn't adhere. You didn't adhere to it. Or show a respect that you should have. So, okay. Now that this is coming down, I'm just watching it now. Now, I'll tell you this, family. Remember how I was telling you that when you're in the gamble zone, in between two blue lines, and I was thinking about labeling it, but I won't label it right now. When you're in the gamble zone, in between the two blue lines, and I said that you could shoot from half sometimes, like shoot from half core shot, that would be this. A break below this, that's a put. But it's a half core shot put. So, okay. Somewhat, a little bit, it looks like it's trying to hold this green uptrend right here. Somewhat. Right? You see that? Like it's kind of trying. It's kind of trying to hold this uptrend. But it's pretty weak. And the MACD is looking like it's trying to cross down. Let's see if it bounces off of the signal. The stop losses on Robinhood suck. If you want, big dog, get on a different trading app. Get on a different trading app. So we're looking at this one. So again, I was prioritizing education over the trade, but now I'm back paying attention to the trade. So I'm seeing this and it's showing weakness. Like I said, when we seen it, we identified it up here. But at this point, your stop loss, like we say, you play the 5% if it goes above here. But this one didn't even confirm. This one almost confirmed. It was still on the line. This one didn't confirm. It wasn't green. Confirmation would have been something like this. If you see the importance of confirmation, say yes in the chat. A candle that's green, that lives totally above the line. A candle that's green that lives totally and utterly above this line. And this one, almost, but it's on the line. This one is red. So this one almost matches the profile. This one does not match the profile. This one absolutely doesn't. And then we back in. And now we get into that low point here where we headed back to the 400. Okay. So you do see it. All right. So now at this point, what I currently see is this. When I was teaching you how to do the trailing stop, because I told you I wanted to prioritize teaching you how to do this over any kind of a trade. I don't have my trailing stop loss on this. I don't have my trailing stop loss on this. So now I'm in it and I held too long. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to try to dig myself out of it or just jump out and take it. Right? So I told you already here, right here, because again, education is key. This is what I was saying would be a clear put down past this. Well, not a clear put. It's a half court shot because you're still in the gamble zone, right? We headed back towards a psychological level of support. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to consider two things. Should I buy more? Because remember, I'm willing to trade 5,000, but I only put in one. Ease my way in. Normally, my stop loss that I was showing y'all over here how to do it would kick me out immediately, but I don't have it on. Why? Because I was prioritizing the education over the trade. So now that I'm back paying attention to the trade, we're going to see how I can handle this by either cutting it out totally and taking the L, because you don't want to turn a 20% L because you didn't put your stop loss on into a 40% L. Sometimes you got to say, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm out. So first thing you do is look at your indicators. I see the MACD trying to cross down, right? You see that? I see the MACD trying its best to, I love that. Yo, look, here we go. Stop loss. Where we at? Let me see that. Stop loss worked perfect. That's what I'm talking about. You master supposed to follow the rules. All right, so Jonah, you're not listening hard enough. I told you that I was gonna prioritize teaching you rather than staying focused on the trade, right? I wanted to show you how to do it, so then I was taking screenshots of the process. I hope that sink in with the family. Does that sink in what I'm saying here? I could have just did it, but then it wouldn't have been me trying to say, okay, this is what you need to see. Let me show you this part. Let me show you this part. Because I want you to know how to do it. Okay. So now I'm starting to see a little bit of a level of support here, but it's not looking really, really strong. It's looking weak. It's looking quite weak. And the MACD is crossing down. Right? The MACD is crossing down. I do see some buyers right here at this green line. I just put a green line just so we could go watch it right here, but it's showing weakness. And we see this, the volume right here is red, is increasing. It's increasing, but the MACD is crossed down. The RSI is in the 40s, so it's still kind of neutral, and it could keep dropping. Even though we are here, it could keep dropping. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna just let this go. I'm not gonna try to battle it. I'm gonna let it go. Take a L on it. Let me see. I'm just gonna take the L on it and try to re-enter the trade or a trade. Okay, so let me just get out of this. 1, 2, 3. But again, normally a stop loss just kick you out and you're done. Okay, so now boom, I'm out and I'm looking for entry. I'm looking for entry. You said it makes sense. You appreciate it. I got you, family. I appreciate you. Yo, much love, big dog. Appreciate you. Said people, we sacrifice bread to teach us. Much love and respect. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because again, I identified, and this is what would have happened, right? Your stop loss would have been just like this. Let's say you got in at the blue line. It peaked up here. It peaked up here. Your trailing stop loss would try to follow you and then kick you out. And hopefully it would kick you out maybe even here at this green line, right? But sometimes it don't happen like that. So now let's go and let's try to look at a trade that I'm actually going to focus on. Now that you are in an understanding, you're in a level of understanding of how to put a stop loss on. So our blue lines are moving. Our blue lines can move. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them to where they should be now. So how do you make the top blue line, the early entry on a call? You put it at a peak that's left of the most recent candle here. And then this one, we're going to put it at a dip closest to the left, which it would have been here, right? But technically right now it's exactly where it is. So this one is a low confidence kind of one of them, like very low confidence kind of, you could call it a support line, but it is technically, it's just right here, right? You could even argue that this is it though, over here, because this is a more well-defined one. This one's too high. Okay. So now I can see the buyers are trying to roll back in. I appreciate you for that, family. Travis said, keep on doing, brother. Communication is clear. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you. Got you. So now let's take a look. I can see my buyers are trying to roll back in. However, how do I see the buyers? We got these wicks right here on the bottom, but the MACD has crossed down. The MACD has crossed down, and that's a sign of weakness. So right now I'm looking at it for the weakness, especially when we broke through this support, but we have not confirmed. And we are now in the gamble zone still. But we do see some of the buyers trying their best to push this up. So I'm going to write in here, and I'm going to write the gamble zone just so we know where we are. The font is small. Let me increase it to what, 18 maybe? G-A-M-B-L-E. Gamble. Go up to the A, Z, O, N, and E. Gamble zone. Gamble zone is right here. It is what it is. And this is where we are, in between two blue lines. However, we are starting to find some stability right here. But we're dead in the center. The RSI is about 50, so it's kind of neutral. So let's see. I'm going to go back and look at that call, see what the price of it is. It's 70 right now. We're starting to show a little bit of strength. But we need to show some patience. Just because it's bottoming out, that doesn't mean that this is necessarily the bottom. We're still in the gamble zone. Straight up. You say you did all the classes. Thank you so much. I got you, family. Much love on that. So now, okay, what I'm looking at here is I see some strength, but we already knew that we would see strength because the bottom of the gamble zone is, again, where the buyers are. The buyers are green and they push us up green. I meant to make this green. Hold up. But we see that the MACD crossed down and we broke this level of support right here, a weak level of support. So they're going to try to chew into the buyers. The sellers are going to try to choose into the buyers. Jose, I appreciate you for that. I said, Keenan, you are a real one for putting our education before stuffing your bank account. I got you, family, for real. So you're saying the volume indicators, they're there, but they're different. Right here, you can see that the MACD kind of momentum. It's not exactly the volume, but it's showing you like how hard are they pushing it. And they're trying. They are definitely trying. Right now, the sellers are taking over the gamble zone. We want to see if they can keep this up or not. And remember, always exercise patience. Do you go after, let me try to read this again. He said, do you go after ever go to same? Write that again for me, family. Write that again for me. Oh, yep. I'm gonna log that as a loss. I got out of that one. I'm looking for a re-entry. Let's actually start it up. Today, let me go grab, what's today, Thursday? Because remember, keep track of your trades. Oh, wow, we on a new page. Thursday, today is February. I'm not done. I still want to try to make this money back, but see where I'm at. You never want to revenge trade and then get smoked and then lose a lot when you could have just lost a little. Let me go and see. So not looking and not putting my stop loss on, down 350. So that's gonna eliminate one of my positive days, like this one. It totally just canceled it out, right? So I'm down 350, but I'm not done. Let's see if we can make it better or not, but we trade with the charts. But again, what happened, right? You always want to know what happened. So you keep track. So then when you're looking back, and I didn't miss the entry today. So far, what happened, and I'm gonna look back at the charts too, but we're in the gamble zone, so I'm not pressed. Did not use trailing stop loss. I'll write it. I did not use my trailing stop loss because I was prioritizing teaching you how to do it. But normally I would have used my trailing stop loss, especially on a play that you jump in. Oh yeah. It's a lot of notes. So I could just say no. So it's the same idea. No trailing stop loss. Trailing stop loss. And did not wait for confirmation. did not wait for confirmation. Right? So then I could just truncate this a little bit. No confirmation. So do you see how this is just a deadly combo of giving your money away? But again, the reason I didn't use a stop loss, just so we absolutely clear, is because I wanted to show you, I was taking my time and showing you how to do it. So you know how to do it and put the trailing stop loss on. Because this trailing stop loss would have I would have probably had $300 more than I have. Maybe I would have lost something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe even more than that. So, okay. Now, let's go back and let's see what we could do and see what makes sense. So here we go. We still see the sellers. They still pushing it down. The MACD crossed down. But there are, again, buyers right here trying their absolute best. Absolute best. To hold this up. But we are in the gamble zone, baby. We are in the straight up gamble zone. And I'm watching her. I'm watching her because I want to be able to make some more money here. So for now, while we just chill and wait her and watch her in the gamble zone, let's throw in our words. So if you're doing what I'm doing here, let's throw in our words. So now, again, you don't want to keep making the same mistakes. So before I told you, no trailing stop loss. Make sure you got your trailing stop loss on. And then no confirmation. You see how not waiting for confirmation could get you smoked, especially if you don't got your stop loss on it. So, okay. Now, early entry call. Now I could throw my words in. Which, what does that mean to me? 5% trailing stop loss. Okay, 5% trailing stop loss. So on this, I can actually grab this and just say, hey, this is what this line means. And let's clean it up. So boom. And one thing too I like about Moomoo is I can change the font size and make it easier for you to see it. Right? So I got my early entry on a call, which means I put my 5% trailing stop on it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is go up here and I'm gonna put in, I'm still looking to get into another trade, by the way, if you're wondering. Let me go copy these words. So I'm gonna write it again. But right now we're in a gamble zone. And this one is gonna be, oh yeah, I'm doing this wrong too. This is a put. You might be saying that in the chat right now. So yeah, that's put, not call. Early entry on a put. Early entry put, 5% trailing stop loss. This is early entry call. %5 trailing stop loss. A good thing though now is our green and our blue lines are no longer the same. We actually should have a legit, oh maybe, oh yeah, they are actually. They still are the same. That's crazy. The 402, so it will be right up there too. How do you get the green line again? Look in the last 2 days, where's the peak? And it's actually today. So I'm not even gonna put the green line on the chart right now because it's the same as the blue line. And then the blue line is going to overtake and supersede because we're gonna prioritize risk management. So we are not just giving our money away to institutions and everybody else. We're not trying to do that. In between two blue lines is the gamble zone. Okay, so now, I don't know if you've noticed this. Great question. Great question. I wanna just highlight that. Let me see. I understand the trailing stop loss, but how do you take profits on Moomoo using a trailing stop loss? If it's going up, and let's say you bought at 100, it goes to 150. Once it drops 10%, it'll kick you out. It'll kick you out at a 10% drop from 150, which would be 135. That would be you taking profits using your stop loss. Your stop loss gets to determine when you get out. And that's a great thing. So, okay. Now we back in here. We still in that gamble zone, baby. But we do see that, and I don't know if you saw this, but maybe you do, or maybe you did. Potentially, you could argue that this is now the blue line and the gamble zone is shrinking. Because look, you look at the current candle, and then to the left, where's the lowest point? So you could argue, you don't want to move it all the time, but sometimes you would like to shrink it so you could do actionable things more regularly. Okay, so now, and again, this is how I go. This is how I get down. 3 strikes and I'm out, right? 3 strikes and I'm out, totally and out and done. So at a certain point on this one, on when I got in, and I got in really, really early, I didn't use a stop loss because I was showing you how to do it. And what else happened? I didn't wait for confirmation. Boom. You take an L. However, now we're in the gamble zone. We can see it. We are seeing some strength. I want to see this MACD cross up. That would make me more likely to try to take a half court shot. You know, when we get close to the end of the lives, I'm willing to trade more risky. But it's not a good long-term strategy, like I always tell you. MACD still crossed down. I see the selling momentum is still there. I'm going to go in and I'm going to look again at the 405 call again. Right now it's 60. I'm not in anything right now. I'm looking at this one. I want to see. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'm not in it yet. Hopefully this airdrop works this time. And that was another thing too. The airdrop was slowing me up. I was having technical difficulties. Not that I'm looking for every excuse in the world. Always put your stop loss on. Okay. Here we go. This is the one. So it's a SPY, same one as before, 405. What is the expiration? The 24th. It's currently at 64. So February 24th, 2023. So year 23, date is, or the month, 02, February, day 24. Call 405. This is what I'm looking at. I see it at current price of 67 now. The selling momentum is still pretty much there. It's not easing up, but it's pretty much there. Antonio just said the Fed, you're going to start hearing from them again at 10:30. So then what's going to happen? We're likely going to get a news catalyst, which we know, law number 5. News catalysts will supersede and overtake any technical analysis if it's interesting enough. And the Fed are the main catalyst for the stock market as of now. So you could, in the gamble zone with news, that's crazy. Hey, Keen, do you ever use volume indicator on day trading? You can, family, all of them work. All of the indicators work. You just got to figure out which ones are you likely to say, okay, this is the one I'm going to use and know and learn well. I tell you, it's like a diet. All of these diets work. You just got to see which ones work for your lifestyle, which ones is going to help you. You said, please remove the message from the screen. I don't see it anymore. So yeah, now I'm just chilling. Now I'm going to do it totally straight to the book, right? I'm going to play it totally straight to the book. The green scorpion getting 10 minutes, fam. Green scorpion getting 10 minute time frame. I don't know, man. All right, boom. I'm gonna play it totally to the book. Early entry on a put. We'll put my 5% trailer stop loss on. At this point, you should know how to do it. If I get in on a play and it doesn't confirm, like for example, this is on the line. It's not totally living beyond it. This is confirmation. This is not. But since we're getting towards the lower side, what I want to do is go and look and see what the price is. So let's go and see. And remember, we never get married to a direction. I'm going to look at a put. Great wisdom. Thank you, family. I got you, family. Steven said, thanks for putting the time in. It's hard work, family, but it's honest work. And I feel like it's worth it. I'm going to look at the puts right now on the SPY. Markets. I'm going to ticker symbol SPY. And I want to look at the options, and I want to look at the puts, and I want to look and just see what they cost. For example, today's expiration, which is the 23rd. What does the 400 cost? It's about 80. $90. So I'm going to go and look at the 399. I didn't get in it. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to share it with you so you can see which one I'm looking at. If this works, come on. What's good with this airdrop? So whatever, I'll read it to you. It won't work for now. This is the 399 expiration today, the February 23rd. At the time of this recording, I'm looking at it. I didn't buy it, but it costs 50 cents, 48 cents. Again, notice, like I said before, we didn't confirm outside of the gamble zone. We just tested it, failed the test of breaking it, and we're back in the gamble zone again. But I'm looking at this put, and I'm trying to share it, but my airdrop is not working. I might have to just post it to Keenan's trades, but I didn't enter the trade. Let me actually, I have no freaking idea. And this is a Apple device and an Apple device. Trade. At a loss. Teaching over the trade at hand. Notes. Okay. All right, cool. So I still can't see this one. Now it's at 39. I'm watching it, but I didn't get in it. I'm just watching it. We still in that gamble zone. You have to be able to identify where the gamble zones are so that you ain't always trading in them and just getting smoked all the time. You said, grab you one of these Androids, my boy. Yo. Oh, my dog. You said it seems like confirmation doesn't happen often. Now, it's a patience thing. It's a patience thing, family. I'm hearing she's bouncing off for the 200 EMA. It's a patience thing. You said you up big money on Disney, get paid, baby, get paid. Great execution on that. Shout out to you. I can't take credit for any trade that you do. I'm just happy that you are getting money. You understand me? I love to see it. Okay, the buyers are pushing her back. Buyers are pushing her back. The MACD has not crossed up yet, but you can see down here, it's a little hard to see. The sellers, they struggling a little bit. They're like strong and then a little weaker and then strong. So we want to see if they start to give in and give up. But for now, they have not. I'm gonna try to reset this phone. I'm gonna try to reset this phone real quick because I need to be able to show you this. You said we got sideways 200, not confirming any direction. You said trading is like fishing. Where does he talk about Disney calls and stuff? Family, you gotta check the, hold on, let me make sure I'm on the right thing. You gotta check the watch list. Where you look for EMA, take the technical classes. It's just another indicator. You can manage your indicators here, like I was telling you before. Add them in, take them out, whatever. But right now, we just traded sideways for a second. You said this is choppy and risky, getting a clear confirmation. We would love to see it. You said 10% stop loss kicked you out, live trade another day, ready for the next entry, didn't get smoked like in the past. That's huge, family. That's huge. Huge. They used to kill Donald Trump back in the day. Now I know I'm getting demonetized for saying that. And on the East Coast, when they say they used to kill somebody, they don't mean literally. They mean they used to roast him, right? That's what that means. They used to roast Donald Trump. Huge, right? They used to say that. That's what I mean by that. They used to roast Donald Trump with saying huge. So, okay, he said 10% stop kicked you out, live to trade another day. I love it. So right now, again, I want to just, you know what I'm saying? Do it right. Do it right this time. Show you how it go. How do you find the gamble zone? You got to rewatch this, big dog. I explained the whole thing, but it's in between two blue lines. Are you actually buying the SPY? Do you place trailing stop immediately after buying it? Great question, Kathy. Great question. So if you get into an option, you should put a stop loss on it, in my opinion, immediately to protect yourself from all or the majority of the downside risk. Options run the risk of going all the way to zero, but your stop loss will kick you out of it long before that happens. Long before that happens. So then you won't go to zero because you have a stop loss. So, okay. Let's see what we got today. Let's see what we can get and what we can do. Again, straight up gamble zone. However, technically, how do we get the blue line again? You look immediately to the left, and you look for a peak. So our gamble zone, as this price action is moving, it's shrinking. And again, shout out to Mumu. I could freaking change the font size. So our buyers and our sellers are both getting exhausted. Did I enter the put? No. Anything I enter, I put it on Keenan's trades so you can see it. So you can see it in real time. Do you only trade the SPY? You could trade anything that you want. But remember, all trading is risk management, first of all, always, and pattern recognition. I want you to become proficient at recognizing patterns. Now, if you want to stick to one particular thing, because I'm really just trying to show you something. Like, for example, one pattern that I know about the SPY is this ain't going to 430 today. The SPY don't move like that, right? So what does that mean? We can recognize patterns. This is why something like BBBY would be riskier to trade options on than the SPY, or something like AMC, or something like all of these other many different other kinds of things, because you're trying to recognize patterns and you can't always recognize them easily if it is very sporadic. All right, so now let's go back. I want to look back again at that put. And you don't want to spend all day. You don't want to spend all day trading. Sometimes you just got to take an L, and it's okay to take an L, because your mind state that gets you up out of you lost. Look, you just took a loss. It is what it is. You said blue and green no longer the same. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Let me actually add our green line in. How do you do the green line? You look for the peak of the previous days, and the green line is up here still. The blue line has moved. The green line is up here still. Good point. This is our normal entry on a call. So now up here at this point, I will put a 10% stop loss on it. Up past the green. All right, so down here, we're retesting our early entry on a put. I'm going back. I'm looking at that 399. Currently, she is about 54 in price. Expiration today. I've been trying to airdrop this for like 30 minutes. But the airdrop just will not work. Maybe I got too much going on over here. Let me try it on this other phone. Now I gotta log in. It shouldn't take long though. All right, boom, I'm in. SPY, options, because I really like for you to see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm looking for the 399 put. Not that I bought it. I'm looking for it. I want to see what it costs. I just heard it work. I just heard it work. I just had it on send for a long time. Look, 54. Now it's written a little funny, but 23 year, February 23rd, 399 put. That's the strike. 399 put, expiration today. 54. And now she's at about 55. Let's go see what's happening. Question, yes or no in the comments, family. Did this confirm down? Did this confirm down? This candle right here. While you answer that, I'm just going to draw this rectangle for us. This candle, did it confirm down? Isn't between the blue lines, vertical or spread zone strategy? If they were strong, then you could try to do that. I notice I trade more confidently with the stop loss. If I don't use it, you have anxiety. Yo, I'm telling you, that gets your heart in the game, and we don't want that. But exactly, I'm seeing a lot of no's rolling in, a lot of no's. First one I saw, William. No, that is not confirmation. Confirmation lives totally beyond the line. This one has the potential to. So then we like to look at that. Okay, now she's starting to run. I'm looking at that same option, this one. And it was 54. Now it's 60 on the dot. Now it's 60. Understand me. That 400 is going to be a really, really, really strong level. in terms of it's just hard to break. You look at the last few days, even when it does break, it just jumps right back. So it's really hard to break. So when you try to play it so close to a strong psychological level like this, make sure that you don't get married. Particularly, you don't get married. Okay, she's pumping a little bit. It looks like she might even break through 400. We got to 402 cents at the low. $400, 2 cents. Yep, so now this one is about 68. The fear. We got the RSI is 37. RSI is rather low. Down here, RSI is rather low. But we broke down into the 90. Yo, geez Louise. I would have loved to have been in it, but I'm not. And now she's just tanking. What I would like to see is this, right? This will help me to get a really good entry. And it would be like a retest. So like, it looks like we might get a candle like basically confirming the break. However, I would like to get a retest like this, like a green candle towards the upside. And then immediately following that, like a red candle back down. But now look, she's confirming. Didn't happen totally yet. You gotta let the candle close out. But it looks like it's working out because the price action is where this orange line is. Dang, now this thing almost double. Family, it's at 90. Flash crash. You say you took it? She said she ran from me. Woo! Yo, love to see it. Love to see it. You got in 55 and out 85. I didn't get in it. She's flash crashing though. But very early entry, like what you must have did, worked out. Shout out to you. I won't do that 2 times in a row. Especially though, but I guess if you use a stop loss and you can handle the risk because you're not over leveraging yourself, it makes sense. Yeah, she's going nuts. The FOMO is in the building. FOMO sellers. Do you see this? I have not seen a MACD like volume bar or actually momentum bar this big in a very long time. So yeah, she's running, family. Running towards oblivion. And I'm watching her. I'm watching her go, 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 go. And she is just tanking. Jeez. Look at that. RSI is 28. Up 80%. Look at Tesla. Tesla's tanking too. Yep, following the spot. Or I guess it's dictating what's going on with the SPY. So here in this case, early entry, very early entry, could have been a huge success. But we're just watching it now. Man, look at that. You would love to ride a candle down like this on a put. So technically, this candle has confirmed towards the downside. But this option ran so crazy and the RSI is now so low immediately that I'm not pressed to get in. You could still, but I'm not pressed to get in. I'm going to go and change the option strike and look at the 97, 397. So I'm looking at 397. But again, there are some buyers rolling in down here. Not many, but they exist. You say you made up for the loss on the first play? Yo, shout out to you, man. 1,000% profit with a stop out. Yo, that's crazy. Love to see it. Love to see it. Now we're starting to show a little bit of strength. Baby strength, though, family. I'm telling you, the FOMO buyers are not really rushing in. The FOMO sellers are trying to rush out. So with the RSI being so low, it ain't crazy, but it's low. So it is what it is. We're going to see a little bit of strength. Not a lot, a little. And we're starting to see a little huge just drop down like that out of nowhere. But at the level, this is where the action was happening. This is why I want you to, again, be able to identify where levels are. So then when they break, you can say, oh yeah, wow, that is a lot of money really quickly. And it's the SPY. You see what I'm saying? It's the SPY. It's not like you didn't have to get into like Dogecoin super early. Like you don't always have to catch every single, oh man, Nvidia was up. What was Nvidia up? 14%, family? Yeah, that's great. But you don't have to be in on every little thing if you just learn that, for example, this SPY option just doubled from like here all the way down here. And we know that there are going to be SPY options again that double tomorrow. He said, shout out to you. You learned a stop loss. Appreciate you, family. So, okay, like we said, RSI being super low. Now it's back in the 30s. So you're going to see a little bit of strength. You're going to see some baby strength. Little baby strength. 398. 398. So then this one crashed down. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. See what we're working with. A very strong level of resistance is the 397 flat. 397 flat. Which we know to be our red line. Right here, this one confirmed this huge gap down candle. However, when the RSI don't match up, I'm not super interested in saying, yeah, I'll try. Yeah, don't chase. So you're trying to mimic Keenan and he doesn't jump on a put that was profitable. Family, it sounds like your heart is in the game. You got to take your heart out of the game. You got to be robotic. You got to be robotic with it. Because what will happen is you'll try to jump in early like this and you're just going to get smoked every other time. And you're going to make money and then lose money and then make money and lose money. And that's not going to work for you. If that's how you want to trade, I would wish that you would get out of that. Oh, thoughts on dropping down to the 1 for a better entry? Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. It helps. It helps you to see. But I wouldn't trade on it. Remember, when using the 1 minute, think about it in increments of 5. Like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, all right, these 5 are coming down. Think of it like that. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like said, Keenan is an immaculate teacher, but don't forget to think for yourself. You do got to think for yourself, family, especially on YouTube. And also this, Rio, he said, let me highlight this one. This is an important point. He said, I should have known better because it was a gap fill. Everything is clear on hindsight. Everything is clear on hindsight. If you try to invest or trade based on hindsight, you're going to get smoked in foresight. So let's go back and let's look, because it's not always true. So let's see. Let's see. This, let's say you were playing a 1-day option and this thing gapped up all the way up over here, right? Gap up. It just shot up. You try to play the gap down, right? You try to play the gap down. Family, ain't no gap down. It doesn't gap down. It came back down in a week later, your option would have been killed with time decay. So the gap down, gap up is, people always say that in hindsight, family. It's not really a strong indicator. So don't get married to that type of stuff. When you hear that, understand that you probably, and no disrespect, listening to somebody who really don't know what they're talking about. It is a thing. It really is a thing. The gap down and the gap back up really is a thing. But it's more of a hindsight thing than a foresight thing. Okay, so now boom, I'm seeing more weakness. RSI is still low. It's still low. But we can see our buyers in right here. Like my guy said, you want to get a little better look at the 1 minute, and you can see how the buyers is really trying to hold her up right here. And the MACD on the 1 minute is about to cross up. Let's go back to the 5 or even the 3. Let's look at the 3. We haven't looked at the 3. MACD on the 3 is curling up. MACD on the 5 is ever so slightly baby level curling up. So if I was going to play this off of the MACD, then what I would be looking at is actually not puts, it would be calls, just because I've seen it curling up. And I'm looking at the 400 call for expiration today. It's 76 right now. Not that I'm getting into no call. I just want to see what it calls. How can a drop be that big with no confirmation? Did I miss something? You did. But I got you. We talked about this earlier. The confirmations help you to not get bad entries, right? They prevent you against bad entries. You're a risk manager. So check this. What happened here? Why is this candle so big? Earlier on the video, I had a green line there. Maybe it was yellow. I don't know. Family, we broke under a huge psychological level, right? We broke under a huge psychological level right here. It dropped under here. It was going for the confirmation. It broke under the 400. Family, everybody was selling out of this. They got sell orders, limit orders saying, hey, if we break under 400, sell it. 399.99, sell it. And then you get something like this. We're at a huge level. 400 is a huge level. Head and shoulder patterns. Oh yeah, I see a little bit. See this? Shoulder, head, and another shoulder. Buyers are trying to push her back up a little bit. I'm looking at the call of the 400. It's $77 right now. 78. Not that I'm buying it, but I'm keeping my eye on it. So, all right, you bring up a point that I want to make, that I've made in the past, but I want to make it again. Even outside of it being a psychological level, there are probably a lot of stop losses there. Family, that's why it's a psychological level, because there are stop losses there. And on the other end of it, when it goes above certain things, or there are buy orders there. So there are a lot of limit orders in these areas, and that's what make it that. This is why when you look at options, the open interest is crazy high at round numbers. 400, you heard me say this 100 times. 400, 405, 420, no matter what. On Tesla, 200, you're going to see a lot of calls, right? That's what you got to understand. The psychological levels exist because of those limit orders that people are waiting on. How do I feel about NVIDIA? It's a great long-term company. But that don't mean just jump in because it's on a rocket. Shout out to you, family. Shout out to you, Emma. But again, you can't win them all. You got to remember that. You can't win them all. And with me, I'm willing to do, like I tell you, I'm willing to trade 5,000. I'm willing to do 3 trades, and then I'm totally done. I'm done. If I lose all 3, I'm done. If I win all 3, I'm done. Sometimes I'll be willing to, you know what I mean? I'll be willing to go a little bit more, but usually I just be done. So, okay, we seeing some strength. I'm going to try to play one more, and if I lose, I'm done. Seeing some strength. I'm seeing the RSI is low. I'm seeing the MACD trying its best to curl up to the 400. Right now, again, I'm trying to just play this one really quick. I'm looking at the 400 call. But she's starting to run. She's starting to run. Encountering some sellers. Let's see what the sellers can do to her. Because now the 400 is going to be a level of resistance if we get back up to it. But again, understand, on the day, major weakness, and this very short, tight window, a little bit of strength. Let me see. On a day, major weakness, and this little itty bitty. Let me see. Little strength. But overall major weakness. I'm trying to see this. I'm watching this MACD right here, this blue line. I'm trying to see if we can get it to start to curl up. So we can see if I can make some of this money back or not on a second trade. So I see the RSI is trying to push up. It's back closer to neutral at 35. But I don't imagine the strength is going to last long. But let's see what can happen here. I'm trying to play it. I'm posting it to Keenan's trades. I'm immediately putting my stop loss on it at 5% because I'm trying to play the MACD. It already broke down up here, but it might rush back up. I'm trying to play this curl up on the MACD. Got my trailing stop on it. I'm gonna put that on 5%. Because all I want to do is just play the MACD. I'm not interested in losing a lot of money. I'm willing to do 3 trades. Again, I posted it to Keenan's trades. See what can happen. See if I get kicked out quick or not. What I would like to happen, let me just move this. Let me add a new line in. I would like to play it to like here. Doesn't mean that it will happen. If the MACD can give me some strength, I would like to play it to like up there. Let's go to the 1 minute to get a quick look. 1 minute, what you got for me? Showing me some weakness. On the 1, a little bit of buyers, but showing me some weakness. So 1, 2, 3, 4, weakness. My stop loss kicked me out, 5%. 5%, I'm out. So that's 2 straight. So stop loss. I don't really want to count the first one because I wasn't even watching it. Stop loss kicked out. Stop loss kicked out. I'm out of this one. I tried to play it up real quick, but couldn't get it. Tried to play the MACD. Let me write that down. So then this one was another 50. And trailing stop loss kick. Normal. That's normal. A trailing stop loss kick. That's not a mistake. That's how I go. Keenan ain't playing calls when it's a downtrend. You don't understand what I'm saying here. That's really it. You understand what I'm saying? I try to literally say it very clearly. Let me know if you understood it clearly what I was saying, family. Listen. The question or the response is this. Keenan, why are you playing calls when we are clearly in a downtrend? Do you see this MACD curling up here, started to curl up here, played the MACD. I told you in the technical class, the reason that you get in needs to be related to the reason that you get out. I get in on a cross up, it's crossing back down, I'm out, right? You're trying to get a good entry. You will lose. It happens. So I want you to understand that that's clear. It has to be clear to you. The reason that you get in has to be related to the reason that you get out. So thank you. So now, and I even said it before, I said, short term, we see a little bit of a up, but overall, on a day, we see it down. I appreciate you, family. I appreciate you. We got to say it sometimes, multiple times to the people in the back. So like I said 100 times, I'm willing to do 3 trades. I'm looking for a potential 3rd trade, but the RSI is just so low that I hate to see it. Hate to see it. Hate to see it that low, but the FOMO sellers are really pushing the day. It's not the technicals that's pushing the day. It is the FOMO selling. FOMO selling. So now, and especially this too, when you in and out of a trade, and I want to say 5 minutes, you can play it both ways, up and down and up and down. My guy said trading is hard. You appreciate me doing it live? I'm telling you, man, ain't nobody doing it live because they're afraid to take a loss because they'll blow up their account. Because they don't understand it. They don't understand how it goes. So, okay. Now, I'm looking at this now. We were looking at something earlier. What was it? The put, the 399 put. I wonder what that is right now. I wonder what that is right now. Let me go and check. SPY. Options. No revenge trading. That's right. None. Never. Do not revenge trade. Revenge trading means you're trying to make your money back and you're so desperate. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So you the man. Much love, family. Much love. So, okay, let's see. I'm going back. I want to look at that put, that 399 put with the expiration today. See what happened to it. It's at 120. So this one is at 120. but it's mostly because of this gap right here. Numbers were bad today and gonna be worse tomorrow. My guy said tap out. I'm willing to do 3. I'm willing to do 3. If I lose 3, I'll lose 3. If I win 2 and lose 3, you know what time it is. My guy said take your ball and go home. I'm listening to the charts and I'm chilling. So now we're seeing a little bit of a pop back, pop back, pop back. Oh yes, and somebody said this. Do the lines move? Absolutely. This is our top blue line now. This one I don't need. And this is our, here we go. The lines do move, so you can play the breakouts. So one thing too that I want to say that always happens, right? When you trade, there are gonna be days like this. You gotta know it. You will lose sometimes. If you think I'm not gonna lose sometimes, I mean I'm not playing for real. Anybody who's not losing isn't playing for real, right? You want to win the championship. You will lose sometimes. It's a part of the game. If you think I'm not gonna lose, you dead wrong. Especially when I'm making, you could call it a mistake that I know not to make. Like, for example, prioritizing the teaching over the stop loss, that was pre-set in. I had to do that for y'all to teach you something. Or not waiting for confirmation. The stop loss kick, I should write this in green. This is normal. This is normal. Stop loss kick, that's law number 2. You will lose sometimes. And law number 3, 5 to 10% stop loss. Totally normal. Losing a little bit on a stop loss is great. Now, you will lose sometimes. It is a part of the game. I did one trade, lost this. Another trade, lost this. So all in all, I'm down 400 on today's trading. What's gonna happen, and it always happens, right? People will lose 400 or lose $40 or lose this, that. I'm gonna go back to the charts too. And then next thing you know, we have another day. Boom. I'm up 2,000 because I'm playing it to win the war. I'm not playing it to just win in a day. I'm playing it to win the war, right? Everybody's a genius in hindsight. You got to remember, how do you repeat the success? The repeated success. I know that you're going to lose. And to be honest, when I lose, it honestly makes me feel good. And I hate losing. Losing makes me feel bad, but it makes me feel good that I know why. I know why. Why did I lose 350 instead of losing just 50? Oh yeah, my stop loss wasn't on fast enough, blah, blah, blah. No confirmation, right? Remember these types of things. That's very, very, very important. So, okay. Now, let's go back to this. Look at this. The sellers are even in the bottom of the gamble zone. Ain't that crazy? Look at this. Sellers, selling pressure. I want to go and see what the put 397 is. It's 50. 54, just like the other one was. The put 397 is 50. Let's go and quickly look at the 1 minute to get a little look, a little baby look. And we have a clear downtrend here. Clear downtrend. However, the downtrend is weakening. It's weakening out, getting a little weaker. But it's clear. It's extremely clear. Let's go back to the 5, see what we got. I'm looking at the SPY expiration. This is a put. SPY expiration today. 397 strike. $397 put expiration today. It's 58, 56, 57. Let's go back to the 1 again. And she's showing some weakness. still. And the RSI is still at 28. The sellers is killing today, baby. You say you take an L and make you want to throw hands? Yo, I'm telling you, but big dog, hey. I hear you. I hear you, family. So they make you want to throw hands. He said the Fed is acting goofy. You know, all of my buttons, I deleted them by accident. My sounds, I still have them in the files, but I don't got them on my board. So if I did get back in, it would be in the gamble zone. And I ain't interested in that, right? I would rather come back down here and then give me a chance. But watch this. I want to just tell you something. So you know how I showed you a while ago, or at least on Webull. I should have it over here on Webull. Where, let me zoom out to the 30-minute maybe. Did I delete it? No. This is SPY right here. This. The very early entry. This one right here. Very early entry. You probably can't even see it. It's probably not zoomed in enough. Still probably. Because Webull's buttons are so small. Very early entry on a call with no confirmation. Now, I would do that. I'd be willing to do that at this level. At today's low, I'd be willing to do a very early entry with no confirmation just because of the continued weakness on the day. Cap, my guy said it's hard out here for a pimp. He said, good looking out for showing love. He said, when I get my yacht, I see you out there, baby. I see you. All right, family, look. So now, today, it is what it is. I feel like I could wait a little bit longer and then actually jump out of this gamble zone and give me a chance to make some of that money back. But I do feel like that would just be me more so doing some revenge trading, which I don't want for you. I don't think it's a good idea. It's a good practice. But if I'm patient and I let us kind of hit this line, which we might do, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. Hit the line and then try to just see what's up. A very early entry. Potentially for the ride down to 397, potentially. But you don't want to do no revenge trading. You still want to trade with the charts, not your her. Always. I'm watching her. 397 expiration today. Let's go to the one real quick, get a look. Still showing that weakness. On the one, RSI is not crazy, but you know, that just changed. That changed with the win. So, okay. She's at 63, 64, 61. See, let's go back to the one more time. She's retesting it. The sellers are right here on the one at the top. SPY. And look, this is where I was saying that I'd be willing to do an early entry on this one. where is it? SPY. All right. And that was the 397. And what is she doing right now? She's at 68. 69, 397 expiration today. So on the live streams, yeah, mostly I would do the SPY so you can just recognize the pattern and really get used to it, really get understanding of a pattern of one stock. You don't want to just be in everything and not know how it moves. I don't think that's a good way to go about it. Actually, I think that's a bad way to go about it, like if we're being blunt. Instrumental fire. Appreciate you, family. So yeah, she's pushing still. New or low. New or low. We still on the one though. Keep that in mind. But we did just approach 1 minute ago a new or low. 397. We touched into the 397s. Let's go back to the 5. Back to the 1. Still a steady decline. Steady, very steady. With a little bit of baby strength, but steady. You said I'm revenge trading? No, I'm just looking at the charts, family. I'm not going to get in it. You said I'm doing it in a more serious tactical way? No, officially I've decided not to. But I like to do 3 trades. I like to do 3 trades. But I won't. I don't see it on the 5. I see it on the 1. I don't see it on the 5. So you zoom out, 97 is the support. Yeah, we knew this. We knew this for basically all day. That's our red line. Remember? Look. 97 flat. So hit the like button. Appreciate you, family. Again, in my heart, I hate losing it. I hate losing it. The first one I ain't really gonna count as a loss. The second one, that was a stop out. That's normal. That's a normal loss. But I'm gonna just take my lumps and live the trade another day. So, okay. Let me go over here. And let me go to this. And just take it on the chin. 400. But you're gonna see. Here we go. 400. The reason why, the first one, no stop loss plus no confirmation. And really, like I said, taking the time to prioritize teaching the family how to do the trailing stop loss instead of paying close attention to the trade and actually doing this myself. Putting my trailing stop loss on, I just decided to just instead do it with you. And then the second one, stop loss kicked me out. That was a really small baby little one, little loss. but it's a loss nonetheless. It is what it is. So now, boom, we still coming down here though to the, yo, come on, man, look at this. 66 is the current price of this option, but we are hitting a new low. I'm looking at the 397 put flat, 397 flat, expiration today. But again, I'm done. It is what it is. It is what it is. You said third trade. Yo, shout out to Free. You can't thank me enough for the teaching. I appreciate you for that, family. Now listen, I tell you every time, we earn, we learn. That's how we getting down. Now, yo, oh my goodness, family, she is going. She's going. She's going. You know I would love to make my money back. Because I like making money. I like $100 bills. But I got to stick to the laws. Take small losses. It is what it is. I didn't know you could set a trailing stop loss for options. That's why I took the time in this video to show you how to do it. Excellent extended class. I got you, family. I got you. Oh my goodness. A new low again. A new low again. 73, 70. Oh, man. I'm looking at the price of the option. RSI is at 25. So she could pop back anytime and get you a big green candle. But overall, family, nothing but straight up weakness. I'm talking weakness. And I was telling you here, I would have been willing to do an early entry on a put, but I didn't execute it because I don't want a revenge trade. Now you want to follow the laws. So King and Grace, that's hard. That's hard. Okay, so now she's still going. Let's go back to the one more time. I don't know about you. This stuff get me excited. But look at the MACD on a 1. Do you see this? It's just flat. And like we said, the RSI was so oversold, you was gonna eventually get just a big old candle. It's just the MACD is just like, yo, in a state of flux almost, they call it. So should you change to the 395? You could, depending on the price. Yo, dealer life, shout out to you, family. He said it take a lot to be juggling the 2 phones and teach and da. I appreciate you, big dog, always. Always. Okay, now the price has jumped to 80, but now it's back to 71 on that same put. remember, it's moving so quickly because we're looking at the 1 minute. If you see 5 1 minutes in a row that are like green or red, then this is showing you, oh, if I go to the 5 minute, like even these 3, right? I go to the 5 minute, this one should be green. Let's take a look. And yeah, see? It's green. So still, believe it or not, the early entry on a put has not confirmed. If this candle stayed where it is and turned red, but largely stayed where it is, then that would be an early entry. But you see how a lot of it is just patience? Aaron, these candles are just traditional normal candles that tell you the volume, the high and the low, where it opened and where it closed, right? These are just normal candles like that. Any kind of variation of a candle, you might have to adjust the strategy a bit. But we can see some buyers on the 1. See the candles on the bottom of the wicks? Okay, we're back on the 5. And let's see. This candle closed out red. That'd be a normal sign of a normal entry on a put. Let's take a quick look at the 395 just to see what it costs. And this option, the 395, costs 23. It's a little low. I don't like that price for expiration today. A little low for me. 396 is okay at 41. The 397 is 71. But yeah, family, spent too much time waiting on this. I'm gonna get up out of here. I do not want, I absolutely don't want to be revenge trading. So I won't do it. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Today was more of a, I'm down. I'm down on the day. Again, I already explained why. I explained it to you one last time. The first one, I was more so teaching how to do a trailing stop loss than actually putting it on. So I took the time to do that. Got caught up in the airdrop. But even still, it is what it is. I prioritize teaching over it. So when you look at it, no excuses. I didn't have a trailing stop loss on. Even if my reason is good, I didn't have a trailing stop loss on. And I didn't wait for confirmation. With no trailing stop loss on, where my notepad at? Bop, bop, bop. Pay attention to the loss. And then the second loss was just like a $50 loss. Family, out of 1,000, that's how I wrote. That's how it is. Out of 5,000, actually, it is what it is. That's normal. It's a part of the game. So now, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And just know, be back on the next live, because what's going to happen is you stick to the laws, you stick to the plan, and then you are green a whole lot and red sometimes. It's a part of the game. It is what it is. So you don't blow up your account, and you can win long term and live to trade another day. So I see y'all. I love y'all. And if you can't do the heat of these hot stocks or options and stay out of the kitchen, consider investing in index funds. However, I do want to say this. If you're new, more so, don't play it so hot and risky. Play the green lines, which happen way less, and the red lines, which happen way less. Consider that, because it's way more consistent, but it just takes a long time for it to happen most days. So, all right, again, I love y'all. See you in the next one. Make sure you're drinking your water today. Get in a lot of water. Drink water, drink water, drink water. That's a side note. See you in the next one. Take care.